There's not a single way of understanding what global citizenship actually means. For some people, it might be a way of life. Well, for some people, it might be an ultimate goal. For somebody else, it might be one's duty, or for somebody else, it might mean something completely different. So let's try to see what you guys think. Let's move to the category in which you feel more comfortable in defining what is for you global citizenship. Come on.
What's really nice about the way of life is that it's something that is very practical and happens on a day-to-day basis. And through that, it's a way of actually seeing the world, not just as a distant and far environment, but as an extension of the self and the surroundings of the self. And in a way, it's also about connecting two things. How we see the world and how we can influence the world, and how the world influences us. And by finishing that circle, by understanding how it functions, how we have an influence and how we are influenced by the world, we can better understand how we can actually, in our everyday life, do the things that we need to change. And I want to also add something about people. Not just the environment, not just the world in a very abstract concept, but it's also our relationship with otherness in a sort of a spirit of two-mindedness, two-man-mindedness that is driven both by a sense of empathy and interdependence. Understanding those two concepts and actually living them on a day-to-day basis is most definitely a way of life that is anchored in global citizenship.
To me, the purpose of global citizenship comes down to being understanding, open-minded, tolerant, and most importantly, compassionate towards other people. As we're talking about global, that means being compassionate to people from other cultures, stepping into their spirit, trying to understand things from their perspective, and by this way fostering empathy. And I'm aware that in some cases it's harder to than in the others. There are our own cultural stereotypes, prejudices, things that we personally might not accept as the others. And to me, it all comes down to respect. And again, as I've said, compassion. And this is something that is very hard to develop in yourself, but to me, this is an ultimate goal.
Okay, I believe that global citizenship can be a way of life, but I don't think it can be either an ultimate goal or one's duty. The reason why I say it's not an ultimate goal is because global citizenship is a vehicle to achieve, all other aspirations that we have, creating a more just, inclusive, peaceful, prosperous, sustainable and secure future. So that is the ultimate goal, and this could be a vehicle to reach that goal. So that's one reason why I feel that global citizenship cannot be an ultimate goal. And one of the core concepts of global citizenship is to develop realization and reflection. So duty comes based on either you imposing it on yourself or somebody else imposing it on you. So I don't think so global citizenship is one's duty. It's one's commitment to transform the world or shape a better world. And I also believe that global citizenship is a mindset to care for humanity and the planet, and to take action towards realizing the goal of achieving a more inclusive, just, peaceful, secure and sustainable future.
For me, global citizenship is compilations of some rights and obligations too, because what do we mean by global citizenship is, first of all, we have to be concerned about global issues like that affects not only into our national border, that has effect on beyond boundary. For instance, environment and climate change, this climate change cannot be addressed by one nation, one state, or any superpower. This it should be addressed by community of the whole universe.
I think that it's someone's duty to feel like a kind of responsibility that if there are things to which you have rights, there are also things to which you have duties, that you feel a sense of action to improve the world, to make it better. So things go hand in hand. There cannot be only privileges, but also have to be duties and responsibilities.
Okay, so Ayan, if you stay in your room, who is supposed to keep the room clean? If you eat in your plate, who is supposed to clean that plate for you? So if you want to have a peaceful environment, who is supposed to create that environment for you? It is your duty. It is my duty. That is why I think global citizenship is one's duty.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful. You seem to be in the middle.
The reason why I fall within the two here is that I say something else, and the something else is basically a sense of belonging to human community. And then why I am saying this is that, you know, we are all different, and I quite hold the view that we have to continue to enjoy our individual difference in a unique way. So it's something else, it's a sense of belonging to a human group or a group of people. At the same time, it's a duty. It can also probably be a way of life.
Okay, my view is very strong. Global citizenship should be one's duty. And not only one's duty, but everyone's duty. If you want to have a sustainable world, then you need to wake up. If you want to have a world where everybody will live just peaceful, then you need to stand up and open initiative and not to sit and see people or giving you money. It is our duty to make sure our countries see what we want them to see in the next 20 years. It is our duty that the sustainable development goal come to full reaction. And I will not sit because it is an ultimate goal. I will not sit because it is a way of life. I will work because it is my duty no matter who work with me. I have my pins and I'm going to take my pins with me because my duty lies in my mind.
Wonderful. Thank you. You can.
I want to argue a bit about the misconception regarding duty and goal. Everybody carries our own duties. We all have duties in our everyday life, and also often we skip them. We sometimes don't wash the dishes. We sometimes cut classes, but we wash the dishes and attend the university because we have a goal. We want to graduate. We want to keep our apartment clean, and the global citizenship for me is the ultimate peace, is when you feel both allegiance, is when you feel the duty, is when it's your way of life to be in harmony with yourself and other people. And to me, global citizenship comes down to a goal which incorporates both of these elements. Because in the end, you're saying that you want to eliminate power, hunger, different problems, etc. But you're doing this as a goal. This is your goal. And how do you do this? Global citizenship.
Yeah. I also came to an ultimate goal for one simple and very practical reason, and it's the fact that although I identify myself very strongly with being a global citizen, and I foster and work for global citizenship as an idea, as a concept, is not something that's globally applied or something that's being globally adopted. But although we are promoting change, we are fostering global citizenship, but we are not there yet to be able to tell that global citizenship is something global. So we need to keep on working global citizenship, but we're not there yet. So to me, personally, it's an ultimate goal, and I want to contribute to this goal, and I think we all are, but that's the reason why I'm here and not in any of those.
Okay. I realize we all have different ideas, but I want us to come to one point and all see that global citizenship is one's duty. That's because if we just say it is a way of life, if we just live that life without duty, then it is meaningless. If we just have it as an ultimate goal, but we don't do something about it, then it's meaningless. If we just call it something else, but we don't define it as a duty, then it is meaningless. We as the youth, we are the ones to have it as our duty to foster those SDGs and make sure we achieve them. So that's why I'm here to say that global citizenship is one's duty, not something else, but one's duty.
Okay. You might have seen me like going from that side to coming here and here. So one of the things that we as global citizens have to understand is that global citizenship is not something that is too rigid. Global citizenship is very flexible. So it can be a way of life. It can be an ultimate goal in a particular context. When Olga gave the reasoning, I really appreciated that, and that's one reason why I came here. And when another person was talking about it being one's duty, United Nations never asked you saying that, like, you know, do your duty to 17 SDGs. It says be committed to the 17 SDGs. So what I believe is, if you want to foster global citizenship in your communities, you need to be very flexible. Otherwise, global citizenship will fall flat even before it takes off. So that's one thing that I have to say.
I just want to continue upon what you have said, and when you beautifully mixed all three of them, it would be a very nice metaphor to imagine global citizenship as a journey. When we talk about a duty, a sense of duty, it's a call to action. It's a starting point, a beginning. And when we start something with an objective in mind, which is a goal. It could be an ultimate goal, it could be a milestone, a step that will bring us forward. And in order to start the journey and finish it, we have to go through it. And so global citizenship presents itself as a continuum, a starting point that evolves through time and ends up achieving a specific goal.
Now, you're talking about a way of life. A way of life. You want to have a way of life. How do you live that life? Will you just stand and have that life being lived? No. What are you doing to contribute to that way of life? There should be something driving you to have the way of life. Because yet you are not doing anything, you're categorizing yourself to be having a global citizenship as a real way of life, I think it's not possible. Now, you're talking about an ultimate goal. I like your point, Yamel, on ultimate goal. It is not an ultimate goal. It is a goal, yes. Everyone wants to achieve a goal, but not everyone wants to achieve an ultimate goal because there is something needed to achieve an ultimate goal. And what makes it ultimate is strong and it needs real force. And that force formed with your duty. Everyone has duty to their life. Everyone needs to see themselves doing something to better their life.
I think truth be told, before you can see yourself as somebody who has to accomplish or do something like a duty, take a duty to yourself, you have to actually understand your sense of belonging. Let's take it for example. If you want to commit yourself to a duty as a family member, a father, and you don't have the sense of belonging to a family, how do you act as a father? You can't do that. That is why we want to tell you that, we don't dispute the fact that you don't have to perform a duty, but you have to belong to a family before you can see your duty. If you don't belong to a family, you don't perform any duty. Belong to a family, a sense of dignity, human sense. Perform a duty, then you are going. In performing that duty, that's why I said I completely agree with her. In performing that duty, you can never have a goal. You will drown on the way. That is the problem. So let's have the sense, go with a duty, set a goal. So if you are a father, you perform as a responsibility. So as citizens of the globe, the only thing we are expecting from us is to live like somebody who belongs to a whole community or a family.
So I would love to ask a question. Why are we all here in the first place? We identify the problem. We realize that it is incumbent that we solve that problem. So we made that problem a personal duty to solve. Fine is an ultimate goal. It can be a way of life. We've not gotten there. But for now, it is our duty.
So first of all, with that has been said, I don't think that it can be an ultimate goal and flexible. Because if it's an ultimate goal, it's something that you hold it the highest purpose in your life. And if it's flexible, it means that you can just throw it out the very next day. One thing that I think we're taking wrong is that when we think about duty, it is not imposed. It is a sense of duty, something that comes naturally to you. Because when we come in this life, there are rights that we take inherently, like right to freedom, to happiness, to justice, etc. But if we have these rights that comes as a heritage, there also come some duties that also belong to the world and come inherently as well.
Mine is one's duty, because I think global citizenship is something that should start from ourselves, from our families, on our communities. And I think global citizenship itself is something that goes from local to global and not vice versa. As simple as that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for providing your opinions. And today we heard that many people have different perspectives on how they define themselves on the basis of global citizenship. It can be one's duty, something else, an ultimate goal, or a way of life, or altogether. So, and sometimes people can change their opinion based on their perspectives and the value and opinions of others. But I think we need to keep our mind open and be open to new opinions to the global citizenship.